Okay, in this lecture, we're going to be going over how to find what homework to do, how to do that homework, and how to prepare and take the quizzes. Okay, so let's take a look at, first of all, the homework. In order to find the homework, we go home, and every single week, we are going to have a page that says, okay, week one, descriptive statistics. So you've got your learning objectives, and then you've got your book problems, and then it says, okay, make sure that you do the project. So let's take a look at these book problems. Book problems 1, 2, 4, 9, 10, and 13. So I'm going to come over here, and I am going to, let's see here, I'm going to do this on here, let's see, 1, 2, whoops, this is what happens when, there we go, 1, 2, 4, 9, was it 12 and 13? Or 9, 10, and 13. 9, 10, and 13. And just pretend that, I'm doing this on a piece of paper. You can do this on Excel if you want to, but I'm going to do this on a piece of paper, theoretically. So I'm going to go right here, move it, and then I'm going to, let's see here, view. Let's see here. I'm just going to get rid of that. Okay. So let's start with question number 2. And the reason why is because question number 2 is one that that you guys have to do. So Slate is a daily magazine on the web. Its business activities can be described by a number of variables. What is the level of measurement for each of the following variable? Okay, so let's look at 2, and we're going to go to A, B, C, and D. And why don't we go draw, and then we'll do eraser. We'll get rid of these for now. So we'll do 2, A, B, C, D, and E, or A, B, C, and D. So 2, and let's look at the number of hits. Slate is a daily magazine on the web. Its business activities can be described by a number of variables. What is the level of measurement for each of the following variables? So the number of hits on their website on Saturday between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Is this a number? Yes, it's a number. It's a number of hits. Can you do math with it? Yeah, you can do math with it. So that means that it's going to be quantitative. In other words, it's going to be interval or it's going to be ratio. Okay, does it have an absolute 0? Like, does it have a real meaningful 0? Well, if you have 0 hits, that means that there were no hits. So in that case, yeah, there is a meaningful 0. So right here, it's going to be ratio. Okay, so we're going to put ratio. Okay, and then let's take a look at B. The departments such as food, drink, politics, foreign policy, and sports. Okay, is that a number? No, it's not a number. Can you put them in order? No, you can't put them in order. So because it is not a number and you cannot put them in order, that means that it is nominal. Okay, so we've got nominal. And then the number of weekly hits on a Sam's Club ad. Is this right here? Is it any different than the number of hits here? Are the two of these any different at all? So you've got weekly hits compared to within an hour, but that doesn't really matter too much right now. That's not what we really care about. What we care about is, what level of measurement is it? So let's take a look at C. C, it's pretty much the same. So we're just going to go with ratio again. Okay. And last but not least, the number of years each employee has been employed with Slate. Number of years each employee has been employed with Slate. And so remember with class, in class, if I were to have asked you, hey, what year were you born? And you were to say 1999, that right there is interval. And the reason why it's interval is because it is on a scale that 0 doesn't actually mean anything. It's just another arbitrary number on the scale. However, if you were to say, hey, I am 21 years old, that means you have been able to count 21 years of being alive. 21 years is ratio. Okay, because there is a real zero. Zero means that you either have not yet been born or you were born, that day. Okay, so ratio for 21, but for 1999, it's interval. So in this case, when they say the number of years employed, that's going to be ratio. And the reason why is because it has a zero. Zero means something. Okay? So we did number 2. You're also going to be doing number 4 and several other ones, but let's take a look at what the exam looks like. Or, sorry, the quiz, not exam. We're going to look at the quiz. So we're going to go to quizzes, and we're going to, upload a picture. Ooh, I should save this file. Save as Adobe PDF. No, we'll just do save as file. Let's put Unit 1, Chapter 1 homework. And we're going to save it as an image. Just this one. And so then I'm going to submit the assignment. Choose file. Let's go to documents. There we go. Submit. And we are done. I just got 5 points credit. Actually, I didn't because I only did one problem. But you've got to do all your homework. Make sure that it's easily labeled and set to go. A lot cleaner than what this looks, because this looks absolutely horrible. But that's what happens when you use a drawing pad instead of other things. Okay, so assignment. Let's see here. We got that. Let's go to home. And let's go take the quiz. We'll at least look at one part of the quiz. So Unit 1, quizzes, quiz 1 individual. Let's take the quiz. So there's 7 questions. There's always going to be somewhere between like 5 to 7 to 8 questions. Normally you'll have anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes to get this done. It says, okay, what are you allowed to use? You're not allowed to communicate with other people. That's pretty much it. Okay, so now this question, it says, which of the following are quantitative? Choose all that apply. So you go down and you say, okay, is nominal quantitative? If it is, you click it. If it's not, you don't. Is like, love, hate, emotions on Facebook, is it quantitative? If it is, you click it. If it's not, you don't. Okay, so you're going to always have like vocab questions. Then you're also going to have questions based on your homework. And then you're also going to have questions based on conceptual understanding of what you did for the project. So it'd be really good for you to have your project work done and your homework work done, and that you also have an understanding of the vocab before you ever take the quiz. Moving on, it says like right here, please match the example with the appropriate term. The amount of money that you would expect to spend on dinner. You say, oh, population, discrete, interval. You match it with whatever is the most appropriate. Okay, so let's see here, the amount of money, I'm just going to tell you, I think it's ratio, because if you expect to spend 0, then it, you can do that. It means that you don't plan on spending anything. Maybe you're expecting somebody else to pay. Okay, from question 10, so here's a question from the textbook. Here's a question from the textbook. Let's see here, what are the characteristics of this variable in Fahrenheit? Yeah, so let's take a look at this. Question number 10. Let's look at this one right here. From question number 10, what are the characteristics about the following variable? Name of cell phone provider. Well, I'm going to pull something out really quick. I'm going to pull out a resource that I gave you all in class. And let's see here. I'm going to pull this up. Spring. We're going to do... Oops. Okay, so we've got Unit 1 formula sheet. Okay, so we've got the Unit 1 formula sheet, which you have access to the electronic version of this as well. And so we've got the name of the cell phone provider. Okay, so my question is this nominal? Is it ordinal? Is it interval? Is it ratio? What is this? Well, is it a number? Well, if it's not a number, because if it's just the name of the cell phone provider, that's not a number, so it must be qualitative. If it's qualitative, you notice right up here it says qualitative. Let's see here. Qualitative right here. If it's qualitative, it's going to be either nominal or ordinal. Is there an order? Like, is AT&T, is it in an order with T-Mobile? There's no order unless you consider another variable. There's no order here. So name of cell phone provider, that means it's going to be nominal. So what can you do with nominal? You can classify and you can count. Well, let's look at this. If you also look at this, it says nominal. You can do everything in this column right here if it's nominal. Okay? So name of cell phone provider. Does it indicate the amount of difference? Well, in order to indicate the amount of difference, you've got to have numbers. So it doesn't indicate the amount of difference. Is it ratio? No, it's not ratio. We already determined it's not ratio, it's nominal. Is it continuous? It's not continuous. Is it qualitative? It is qualitative. Okay. Is it discrete? We're going to put that it is discrete. I know some people say that it's not. It's just kind of like one of those things. It's kind of messy. But we're going to say that all qualitative variables are discrete. Okay. Interval. It's not interval because that would mean that it's quantitative. Does it indicate that there is a difference? Yes, it definitely indicates that there is a difference. In other words, if you're on AT&T, is it different than being on T-Mobile? That answer is definitely yes. Is it nominal? Yes, we're finally there. Then does it indicate the direction of difference? No, there's no direction at all. Is it ordinal? No. Does it have an absolute zero? No. So we went through and we said, okay, here's everything that is true about this, and we clicked one after another. Then ideal coffee temperature, so on and so forth. I only use permitted resources, and so then you submit the quiz, and then you'll get. So if I were to submit this right now. Oh, look, you have 6. Yes, I want to submit it anyway. Don't submit yours until you're done. And then it says, oh, you've got a 2.5 out of 10, which means that I got that full question correct. But make sure, especially for the first quiz, I do not have any time limit on it at all. Take your time. Make sure that you understand what's going on. So that's how you do the quiz. Like I said, you're always going to have some vocab. You're always going to have some vocab. You're always going to have some work from the book, and there's always going to be some questions that basically say, do you understand what you did in the project? And as long as you know the vocab, did the work in the book, and understand what you did in the project, you should do really well on those quizzes. Good deal. I think that's pretty much it for how to do the homework and the quizzes. I'm going to also go into the unit project now. Let's see here. What time is it? 13 minutes. I'll make a new video on the unit project.